Hey, what's up, guys? I'm BKFC athlete Paige Van Zandt, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
Thanks, Paige. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you, boo. We got the appreciate the props there, Miss Paige Van Zandt, and welcome to BKFC. Hi, guys. It's Cage Side with Christopher James. I'm Christopher James. I'm here to have a good time with you this afternoon. Been an emotional day for me. All kinds of good stuff going on. If you watch on my Facebook, you'll see that. I found out today that I'm cancer free. My doctor thought I had colon cancer. The biopsies came back, and I do not have colon cancer. So I'm so excited. Also, my Crohn's disease apparently has disappeared, and he's never seen anything like that in his life. But, after 3 heart attacks and my body beating cancer on my liver and leukemia all on its own, I'm not even shocked anymore when a doctor tells me something disappeared to me. I don't understand the miracles of life that I've been given by the Lord, but I'm grateful for them every day. It means I get to wake up tomorrow, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, and kiss my wife and, talk to my grandson. And those are the things that get me through the day. Plus, hanging out with all you guys, fight fans and everything, and, getting crazy. So got a big show today. We got a few people coming on tonight. We're going to have, in a little while, Josh Parisian. He just got signed by the UFC after a knockout at Contender Series on Tuesday night. And we're going to talk to BKFC president himself, Mr. David Feldman. But to start the show, I wanted to go big time. I wanted to go superstar. I wanted to go Hollywood, if you will. So we're going to bring him in right now. He's an Island Fights veteran. He fought on the Contender Series last year. That was the only time he's lost in his professional career, I believe. And he's taken a year off since the Contender Series to work on some things, and he's back. He's going to debut with us because I have a new gig, iKON Fighting Federation. We debut September 24th in Biloxi, Mississippi, and brand new promotion, and we're debuting on Fight Pass. That's how locked in we are with what we have planned for the mixed martial arts community. And one of the guys that's going to be part of this historic card, he pulled off an amazing submission a little over a year and a half ago, I think it was, the banana split, the rarely seen banana split at Island Fights on UFC Fight Pass. We're going to bring him in right now. He's last time I spoke to him, he was a young, in love, engaged guy, and now he's a young, still in love, married man. So please welcome to the show the man himself, the one and only Christian Hollywood Lohsen. What's up, brother?
How's it going, Chris?
Oh, it's going good here, man. How's it going with you today?
Doing pretty good. Got to get my training in at Fusion Excel in the morning, and then got home, showered, ate a little lunch, getting ready to go train at Dark Wolf MMA next. So,
well, that's awesome, brother. So, since we haven't spoken in a while, the thing I've been doing with a lot of athletes and people I've had on the show, and we're in this pandemic now since March. Tell us a day in the life of Christian Lohsen prior to the pandemic and how things were going, and then the adjustments you've had to make since the pandemic started and while we're dealing with this COVID thing. And while you're doing that, I'm going to share this broadcast out to a bunch of pages so we can get a bunch of views for you so people can meet you and fall in love with you like the rest of the world has already. So, Christian, go ahead. Tell us pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, a day in the life, and give us the differences.
all right. So, well, pre-pandemic, just waking up in the morning, especially Tuesdays and Thursdays, going down to Fusion, getting some training in down there, driving home an hour afterwards, getting home, eating a little lunch, showering, playing a little video games, and then heading off to training at Dark Wolf MMA, my home gym with my family, and teaching classes there, getting home, playing some more video games till it's a little later than it should be, and then getting to bed. Pandemic really changed a lot, though, because with owning a gym with my parents and I, having to put that on hold and shut that down for a little bit, not being able to run classes with the gym ban that they kind of put on, really put a kink in things, because we were looking to have a really solid year this year with the gym and everything that was going to be coming up. It kind of gave some issues as well to, I was getting my black belt in March from Cesar Gracie, and we were going to have a big celebration, like have a lot of people out at the gym. It was going to be the end of March, like I think 28th, which was going to be our 5th year anniversary of having Dark Wolf open. And we were going to have a big celebration. He was going to come out. We were going to get me promoted to black belt under him. And he ended up having to not be able to come out because he didn't want to fly and risk all of that. And gyms were starting to have to close. So he ended up giving me my black belt kind of over Facebook.
Hey man, as long as you got it, I mean, you're getting a black belt from a Gracie. That's not a bad thing. So had to interrupt you there to say that. So continue on.
So yeah, that was a pretty major change to what would have happened. And then Fusion closing because the gyms had to close too. So just kind of doing what we could, getting a couple people together, getting some work in, getting some training, and trying to just make sure that whenever everything came back and fights were ready, that we could jump back in, because I took too much time away, in my opinion, without being able to compete and get back on the right track.
So now you're back. You've got a training regimen figured out to deal with this during COVID. I know Fusion's back up and running, and most of the other places you train are also, of course, your own academy, Dark Wolf, right? So you got to do your thing. Your mom, your dad. It's crazy that your mom and dad are both black belts, and like you're a black belt, and you know you were born and bred into this. So training's figured out. You know we know you got a fight coming up. Before we get into the fight stuff, though, and what you were doing during the time off. You got married.
Yeah, really exciting. That was a blast.
So tell everybody about your girl and about the wedding. Give us, I'm one of those guys that I like all this stuff. You know, some guys go, yeah, man, I don't know. My wife planned all that shit and I just showed up, but I was very integral in the planning of our wedding, my wife and I. And, so give me your take on the whole, I guess the fight camp for the wedding, because it's like going into a camp, it's crazy stuff. So give us your experience on, let's say the last 4 weeks before the wedding, because that's really crunch time when, just like, you're cutting at weight and starting your weight cut 4 weeks out. So give us the schedule of things that were going on in your life. And by the way, guys, you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James. We are talking with Christian Hollywood Lohsen. If you're watching on Facebook Live, feel free to comment and, ask Christian some questions, and I'll share them with him on the screen. So, but yeah, give us the 4 week breakdown before the wedding happened, brother.
So to put some things in perspective first, at the time when we got married, my wife was a wedding planner. So
I didn't know that, man.
So at the time she was planning weddings, which also means that through all the weddings she planned, she saw things that she liked or didn't like. And I swear every time she came home from a wedding she'd worked, she had one more thing that she wanted to do with our wedding. And it seemed like it just kept piling on. But I didn't do too much for our wedding other than just approving or giving little opinions and inputs, because there's nothing I was going to say that was going to be as productive as what she was going to bring to the table through working in the wedding industry. But it was mainly just trying to keep her sane and make sure that she wasn't getting too deep and too busy with it that she wasn't being able to enjoy it.
So basically you're saying to me, I'm translating this as husband to husband. She made all those decisions. You just said, yes, dear.
Yes.
So when you got up there to the altar and, everything's going on, your reverend or minister or priest or rabbi, whoever was performing the ceremony, he starts, reading off the vows, and you're, I, Christian, take thee, and all that stuff. Were you nervous or were you comfortable? Because for me, I was all like confident going into my wedding. And then when it was time for me to because we did our own vows and I didn't write mine down. I knew what I wanted to say, but then all of a sudden, and you know me, Christian, I'm never at a loss for words. We've hung out and had food together after fights. I could talk all fucking day. When Cyrus Fees, a fellow ring announcer, he officiated my wedding. He says to me all this stuff. He goes, all right, and Chris, now it's time for Chris to say his vows. And I was like, it's the first time in my life that I was really at a loss for words. And, but I did get it out eventually. But man, I was shaking like a fucking leaf on a fucking tree in a hurricane down here in Florida, man. I was like, and I knew it's what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. But man, And I've been on national TV, international TV, radio, everything, meeting big stars. And all of a sudden it's boom, I'm like freaking out. I'm going, am I really sitting here getting married? Does this woman really want to spend the rest of her life with me? Holy shit. So what was that moment like for you?
I agree. I was going in cocky to it, feeling like I was going to be just easy cake. Like, we've been together for 8 years at the time of the wedding. So I was like, this is nothing. And then I was choking up, crying, just not being able to say it in a full just run of a sentence for each sentence, just choking up, having to pause, take some breaks. And it was nerve-wracking, like more so than it felt it should be.
Right? This is supposed to be the greatest day of your life with the person you're going to spend forever with. And, me, I'm just a guy, I'm a ring announcer, do the stuff, whatever. But you're a fighter. You're a badass, and all of a sudden you've been crippled by your heart, the emotion. It's crazy how you can go out there and beat the shit out of somebody on live TV and have no fear in the world. But when you get up to the altar and it's time to say I do, all of a sudden it all just comes out of you, man. It's the weirdest feeling in the world, but it's the most awesome feeling in the world once you get through it. And I know you can attest to that. You and your girl have been together a long time, longer than me and my wife. But we've known each other for 20 years. So, it was still good. So congratulations on that. I know your wife's up there watching. Tell her I said I love her. You guys are like one of my favorite couples. You guys are just cute together. You guys are in sync with each other. And, you're on the same path, the same plan. She knows what you're doing. You know what she's doing. And you support each other 100%, no matter what. And that's awesome. And congratulations again, man. I wish you guys the best. Are going to be any little baby Lohsens coming soon?
Hopefully not for a little bit. Gotta focus and get money situated first.
Is she cool with that? Because I know she's watching. She's sitting there going, what the fuck did he just say? I want to have a baby.
No, she's the one really pushing to make sure that we have all the ducks in a row before
That's awesome.
Being ready.
Right. So now let's get down to fight things. And first thing on this fight, you should be able to see it on the screen. Our matchmaker at iKON Fighting Federation, Dean Toole, said Lohsen is back. He's excited, man. He's excited to have you on this card. I'm excited to have you on this card. Before we get into this card and your opponent, your last professional fight was on the Contender Series. You took an L, and I know that's something you're not used to. Oh, wait. No babies yet. Love you too, Christopher. I love you too, Megan. So happy. I saw some of the pictures. You guys look so beautiful together, man. Truly a match made in heaven, you guys are. And, I love love. So when I see people in love, it just keeps me in my heart going. So Dean, like I said, is our matchmaker and everything. But you took a little over a year off now, right? After the Contender Series loss, I'm sure that, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on my assumption, but I'm sure that got in your head a little bit because, you have been touted as, the future of the UFC. I mean, we all, see what you do. We all watch how you fight, how you train, how you work. Everything you do in life has been geared for that moment. Didn't go your way. So first of all, was there a mental recovery you needed before you started to go back to the gym to work on the things you needed? I mean, did it hit you hard mentally, or did you just say people lose and you just, went back to the laboratory, if you will?
Losses are tough. Fortunately, that wasn't my first time falling short in a big moment. High school senior year, state semifinals, I end up losing to a dude I shouldn't have, end up ruining my chance at a state championship. But I think that helped prepares the mentally, like the way I reacted back then really changed how I react to losses and setbacks and the like. It still hits hard. It still is frustrating as hell, but I was ready to go back to the gym. Just unfortunately, they suspended me medically after the fight for 20-day training, 30-day competing. So that was part of why I didn't jump right back in and try to get right back at it. But
then, so in other words, mentally, it didn't really break you, because you said you experienced a big loss at, a state championship. So you understood what losing felt like. And it's such a weird thing to talk about. Nobody wants to feel losing, but You felt a big loss in a big moment. So this didn't break you. I mean, you didn't want the loss, obviously. We want you to win and get to the UFC, but this didn't break you. It never broke your spirit, is what you're saying to me.
Yeah, I mean, I was frustrated. I watched the video of the fight probably 10 times within the week. Seeing just things that could have changed, little things that I was missing in the moment, just trying to figure out what I want to work on when I got back to it, especially knowing that I couldn't even train for 20 days legally.
Yeah. All right. So you finally get back to the gym. What were the things you saw? Because you said you watched the fight a bunch of times. What were the things you saw in that fight in yourself? Forget your opponent, because you can't fix what your opponent did or didn't do. But what did you see in your game that you said, you know what, I really have to tighten this up if I'm going to that next level? And I got a taste of that next level at the Contender Series. What do I need to do to get to that next level and then maintain my spot when I get there? What were the things? What were the holes?
One of the biggest things was I was rushing. When I got to the ground, getting to side control, getting position felt easier than I expected. And I went and rushed for the first submission I saw instead of taking my time like I do in most of my other fights and being patient, striking, and letting things come. I went for the first thing I saw, which was the Darce, locked it in, felt good, took mount. And from there, again, when I felt the Darce was losing it, not sitting and settling into position and striking and trying to make something appear, instead of, again, going for the first thing I saw from that point on, which was the triangle attempt. And burning a lot of energy quickly, trying to rush and just find what I thought was the quickest way to the win. Which I don't know if part of that is just being on the Contender Series, where finishing gets contracts pretty much.
Yeah.
So going in, as soon as I got the takedown, I almost got tunnel vision on, I can win with a submission right here, instead of trying to set it up, strike, keep position, and let the submission come to me or the TKO come to me. I tried to force anything I saw. And it really burned into my forearms and my calves, leading into the poor striking performance in the next 2 rounds.
And you alluded to something that's very important, and it's not just important in the game of fighting, it's important in the game of life. Rushing and trying to force things to happen. It's like, I mean, you've been with your girl for a long time, but maybe before that, you tried to date a girl or something, and you're a guy, can be too pushy, trying to force a girl to go out with them. And I don't mean like force, like, be an asshole, commit a criminal act, just, hey girl, and just keep, going at it. Or, when you're a kid trying to get your parents to give you, $10 to go to the skating rink, and they already told you no, but you keep trying to force it and make it happen, and it never happens. I think it's a valuable lesson that you picked up right there for life in general. I mean, in fighting, definitely, you never force it. If you try to force the finish, you lose. I mean, Drakkar Klose fought a while back, and I can't even remember the opponent, but he got knocked out, and he had the guy on the ropes, and he should have won that fight. But like he got him rocked, and he went in for the kill when the kill shot wasn't really right there. He needed to put in a little more effort and recompose and recollect himself before he went in for that finish. He ended up losing. So same thing that happened to you. So how do you fix that in camp? I mean, is that something that you can fix in camp? Because, and again, the pressure of being on the Contender Series, you're a young guy. The whole world was right there, right there in front of you, the dream, everything you were working for. So there's pressure going into this, and I mean, but you're still a pretty cool cat. You're chill most of the time, as my experience with you. But did the pressure of that moment, like, again, you mentioned, did that moment hit you and you tried too hard? And so now how do you fix that? Because I don't know if that's something you can fix in camp, because you're not going 100%, 110% in camp to, beat your sparring partners. You're working on technique and skill. So how are you going to address that when you get into this next fight, which is coming up September 24th?
I mean, one of the things I've been working on is knowing my submission game is where it's at. A lot of the times before I would be training and I'd be sparring, grappling, whatever, and just being very attack heavy on the submissions. Whereas now I'm really focusing more on when I get to position, using a lot more of the strikes instead of the submissions. And occasionally, if the submission's there, hitting it, but really focusing more on building that muscle memory that get in position, control, strike, and move from there. Yeah, it's not the easiest thing that you're just gonna, all right, we'll do this in training and fix. There was pressure in the fight. There was also, I knew that we needed a first round win. I knew my cardio wasn't going to be as good as other fights, just other stuff that was going on. But we'll see this next one. I believe it's fixed. So
Yeah. So you get to return, and you think about your last couple of fights on Fight Pass with Island Fights, on ESPN Plus with the Contender Series, and now you're coming back and you get another chance on a huge platform with iKON Fighting Federation. And I'm honored to say I'm going to get to ring announce your name again before you get to the UFC. That always makes me happy to, be a part of somebody's journey. But we're making our debut September 24th in Biloxi, Mississippi. Our matchmaker, Dean Toole, and our CEO, Keith Veltray, are going to be there. Keith Veltray runs Roy Jones Jr. Boxing as well. And we're going to have a boxing event before the MMA show, which is really cool. So, everybody gets to enjoy something. Because there's boxing fans, MMA fans, there's crossover fans, but so we're gonna have a decent crowd and mix, and maybe some MMA boxing fans that have never seen MMA live. We might build some new fans, but it's our first show and it is on Fight Pass, which is something to be proud of. And you are going to be featured on this card. So tell us about your opponent and what it means to you that Dean reached out to you guys to get you on this card, because this card has to be. For us, it has to be right. It has to be outstanding because this is our first one and it's on Fight Pass, and Fight Pass has taken a chance with us because of the reputation of Dean and Keith. So what does it mean to you that Dean said, you know what, I want to put Hollywood back in the cage and I want to get her back in the ring and I want to get him back to, action, because Dean loves you to death. He saw the potential and he's why he brought you into Island Fights. I know he was part of getting you Contender Series, and now we got to get you to the UFC. So now it's, doing fights at iKON, maybe one or two, and getting some big wins, maybe just one, a big win, knockout could, with pandemic stuff going on, there's a lot of guys that have been getting called up. So you may not even have to go back to the Contender Series. So what does all of that mean to you? Because none of this would be happening today if Dean didn't say, you know what, Christian's one of those guys that's worth putting on our debut because I know what Christian brings.
Yeah, it means a lot, like just knowing the faith Dean has in me and the push that he's tried to give me to get back into it, get back after the year off and just get right back to it on a big card and looking to just get back in a big way with a big finish.
Yeah, and about your opponent. What can you tell us about your opponent on this one?
Right now, it's not 100% on who I'm fighting. We're waiting to hear back. Dean said he should know by the end of this week if they're 100% in, but he said not to break who we'd be fighting yet.
Well, I know, but I didn't want to say it out loud, and I didn't know if Dean had spoken to you, because I don't ever break news like that, reveal an opponent unless Dean tells me it's okay. But I also don't know the conversations you and Dean have to, because Dean might have said, okay, you can say it on the show. So I just wanted to check with you. I know who they're talking about. And if this fight comes to fruition, it's a fucking banger. I love it. We'll just leave it at that. So the things you've been working on, like you said, not rushing and everything. What kind of improvements can we see in your game? I mean, your jiu-jitsu is sick and off the charts. I mean, pulling off that banana split against Wesley Golden, I was sitting in the front row and I'm like looking at this and I'm listening to TJ DeSantis and I think it was Cole Miller at that card, if I'm correct, doing commentary with him. And it was funny because TJ was calling one thing and then they both realized what it was. It was banana split. And I'm listening to my earpiece. I'm going, I've never seen a banana split. Oh my freaking God. And boom, you just pulled it off. And, you got up, you did a little hair flip, for the little hair, kind of rub your head back like, yeah. And it was such a cool moment. And People are talking about that. That video has gone viral. A lot of people have seen it. So do you have other tricks in your bag like the banana split that, if the opportunity presents itself, that you might, show us something else crazy at iKON, next month? Because, like I said, pulling that one out of the bag, man, people talking, big people talking about, lots of like huge stars, BJJ, masters and grandmasters. I think if there's a grandmaster, as they keep going up and up and up, the highest level of jiu-jitsu guys are talking about your banana split. And that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, no, it was pretty cool. I know Eddie Bravo put it on his Instagram page.
He sure did.
I know UFC Fight Pass voted it as the 4th best finish of the year on Fight Pass.
That was crazy.
So it was a good time with the banana split. I mean, that's one of my go-tos from wrestling. It was one of the moves I was best at. So that's always an option. And then there's a couple other things that are as fun as a banana split, maybe a little less, but as fun as a banana split on the ground. I feel like my striking right now is a lot tighter. I feel like I didn't really get to show my striking in the first fight because by the time we were striking, it was the second round and I had already burned myself out. Because the first round hit the ground pretty quickly after he pushed to the cage. So hoping to be able to show, sorry that I'm looking over, it started pouring outside. Hoping to be able to show.
Rain sucks this month.
Oh yeah, we had a tornado on Tuesday, like within a mile from the house, I think.
Wow.
Here in the land.
Like a mile from your house. When I was a kid, there was a tornado on my street down in South Florida, and we were out in the street playing football. Me and my buddies, that's what we did after school every day. So we're out in the street playing football, and one of my friends looks up and goes, "Chris, look at that bird up there." I'm like, "Big deal, it's a fucking bird." But then I realized that the bird was flapping, like going this way, but he was still going this way. And then all of a sudden he started going backwards, like in the circle, and all of a sudden we realized what was going on. And then the thing picked up a little steam. We all ran under the alcove of my front door, and it was gone almost as quick as it was there. And luckily, it didn't, rip the roofs off house or anything. It just kind of hit the ground a little bit and then took off. It didn't do any damage. But the noise when it got close was the scariest fucking thing I've ever heard from nature in my life. And I've lived through major hurricanes and other, crazy snowstorms. But that noise, they say it sounds like a freight train. It sounded like a freight train that was on Winstrol and every other steroid on the planet Earth, man. It was like scary. So even a mile from your house is nuts, man.
We had some cars flipped. I think part of the roof of like a Waffle House got taken.
Cars flipped?
There's a picture of a car flipped upside down at the door of the Waffle House.
That's crazy.
It was a decent, I think they said, whatever the category system is for tornadoes, they said it was a 2. But
that's legit.
Yeah, that was out of nowhere, just Tuesday.
So I like that sitting behind your head. I don't know if that's a planter of some sort, but it sure looks like an octagon. What is that behind your head?
So
it is an octagon.
It was made for our wedding. It was to hold a like see-through. Megan don't know what material it was made out of, but it had like the introduction of just like welcome to Megan and Christian's wedding. Like we had a lot of octagons in our wedding as part of the theme.
I wonder why.
It was the welcome sign. That's what she's saying.
The welcome sign where people signed in and stuff.
Yeah, it was on the table where people signed in, and then like where we got married, there was a big wooden octagon around like the altar, I guess, where we were at.
Yep.
We just implemented the octagon a couple times because we had been together for 8 years. It was our 8-year anniversary on the wedding, so 8 sides of the octagon, the fighting, like a couple different things just all put together, and got some inclusion from the octagon.
See, and you know what I just realized, dude, that you didn't get to really pick anything of the wedding, but yet that octagon is symbolic of so much in your life, including your fight career, that you actually got to put that in the wedding and you didn't even realize it, man. That's all you. She did that for you.
It's pretty cool. Like I said, we put it a couple different places in the wedding.
That's awesome.
But
When my wedding went off, Cyrus Field, like I said, fellow ring announcer, I had no idea what he was going to say. And he starts out the wedding, goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to whatever, something wedding one, the marriage of Christopher." And he did it like a full ring announcer, dude. And it was so funny. And it calmed me down a little bit, but still, when I had to say my vows, like I told you, I was a fucking wreck. Yeah. And see, in 1 month, iKON, baby. That's what we got going on. Let me move that mic out the way. iKON Fighting Federation. Christian Hollywood Lohsen makes his return to the world of MMA. I'm going to be announcing his name. We are excited to have him on board. I can't wait to see you get back in the ring, brother, and go back to work, man, because I believe that with one big win here and, maybe two, you'll be in the octagon. You'll be right where you want to be, right where you're supposed to be. And, losing is only losing if you don't learn. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you learned. I could tell there's a different tone about you today, because you are, when a couple of times I met you, we talk about your fights and everything. You have a cockiness about you, and deservedly so. I mean, you're good. So having that cockiness, that arrogance, that belief in yourself is awesome. However, I think, you got a little humbled, and I think you realize that you can still be cocky and comfortable and, believe in yourself, but you're going to approach things a little differently. And I think that makes you even more dangerous than you were prior to that fight. So I think whoever steps in against you at this fight and for the future is always going to be in trouble, because I think you took a big lesson and learned from that fight. Now, before I let you go, I'm going to bring in this guy because I want him. Josh, can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. All right, I'm going to bring him in right now. He just fought in the Contender Series on Tuesday night. Second time on the Contender Series. He also went to the Ultimate Fighter. He never, ever gave up. And I'm going to bring him in. He's a UFC heavyweight, officially a UFC heavyweight right now. And I just want to see if he's got some words of wisdom for a young man on the way, So please welcome to the show. Before we say goodbye to Christian, we're going to welcome in Mr. Josh Parisian. Josh, what's up, homie?
What's up, man? How are you? Can you hear me?
I'm good, brother. How are you, man? We're going to talk about you and all your stuff in a minute, but before, my buddy Christian, who has to go to train, he was on the Contender Series. He took an L. He's coming back to fight with us at iKON on September 24th. You're a guy that had to go through a Contender twice, the Ultimate Fighter, everything that, you had to go through, most guys don't have to go through. So if you wouldn't mind, give my dude Christian here, because I love this kid. Give him the best piece of advice you can give him moving forward as he goes again to try to get to either the Contender or right to the octagon. What would you say is the most important thing to have?
Perseverance, homie. Just keep pushing, keep winning. Don't take no for an answer.
Thank you.
I think you guys are wearing matching headphones.
Yeah, right away I saw him. I was like, that guy's got good taste in headphones.
That's awesome. Well, listen, Christian, I will let you go. Have a good time at training today. If you do any crazy submissions, get a video and send it to me. I want to see what you're working on. I won't share it to anybody. I just want to see what you're working on. I got to know. So before you jump out, if you want to give everybody your social media and your, shout out to any sponsors or anybody that you just love, take this time right now, brother.
Instagram, Monkey Jiu-Jitsu, Facebook, Christian Hollywood Lohsen, and make sure just keep giving love to my gyms, Dark Wolf MMA and Fusion Excel Performance. We're always grinding. Both my teams, we got talent packing the room, and everyone's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Sponsors? Any sponsors you want to shout out?
Right now, I'm looking for some. So,
all right. Well,
since my last one, so
he needs some sponsors, man. So if you guys out there watching want to get involved and sponsor a young fighter that's on his way to the octagon and get on the train now, reach out to Christian Lohsen, Monkey Jiu-Jitsu on Instagram, Christian Hollywood Lohsen on Facebook. And I will, if you go to the post on Facebook and see it, his name is right there. So you can go and tag it and boom, get in there, be a part of the history. Christian will be there. Christian will be joining us February. What the fuck is February? I don't even know anymore. September 24th, iKON Fighting Federation, Biloxi, Mississippi, live on UFC Fight Pass. As soon as we're allowed to divulge his opponent, we will let you guys know. And I promise you guys, it's going to be a fight. You're going to be like, holy crap, this is going to be a fucking war. So, Christian, you enjoy the rest of your day, man. Again, Megan, love you, girl. And that's right. No babies right now. She put down her foot. So that's cool though, man. I mean, fucking hey, just enjoy your life right now. Have a little you and her time before the babies come, because once they come, life is different. Josh knows all about that. We're going to talk about that. Christian, you have a great day, man. Stay safe. Be well. God bless, man. I think he froze out. He froze out in a smile, which is awesome. So, all right, we're going to click him on out. Guys, now we're going to welcome him officially to the show. He's a two-time Dana White Contender Series veteran, an Ultimate Fighter veteran, and ladies and gentlemen, he is now in possession of a shiny new UFC contract. He is the man himself, Mr. Perseverance, Mr. Determination, the one and only Mr. Josh Parisian. Josh, officially welcome to the show, my brother.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me again.
Oh, thanks for being here again, man. And, when we talked last time on the show, I said you were getting in. I remember specifically saying you were going to get this contract. After I watched the fight, man, I messaged you right away. I was like, oh, shit, you're definitely getting in. Right after the fight was over, I knew. I was like, there's no way they're going to deny this kid. And boom, you got the contract, and I was so excited for you. What was that moment like when you officially got the contract there? I mean, what was it like for you, man? Because it's I can't even imagine. And before you answer that, Christian just commented. He said, sorry, lost power and storm bed. Listen, brother, it was great talking to you too. Don't worry about the popping out, man. We were done anyway. So we'll catch up in September at iKON. Love to you and to the wife. And tell your mom and dad I said hello. So what was that moment like for you, Josh?
It was obviously a great feeling, but right before, I was not sure if I was going to get a contract because two brothers both won their fights. I'm like, there's no way they're not both getting signed. And they just signed, and Dana signed 5 the week before. I'm like, man, it's even with the performance that I had, and I was looking a little chunky. I was like, I don't know about this. But it all worked out. He had nothing nice to say, nothing but nice things to say, and I was super happy.
Well, you looked happy out there. Say again?
It still hasn't set in completely yet. You know what I mean? Since the fight, I've only gotten about 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah, I think it'll settle in when you get that first fight offer, and now it becomes 100% real because right now you got a contract. You sign a contract, boom, you're in. You got your deal. But yeah, I get what you're saying, but I still think like you said, it hasn't fully settled in. It takes some time to really grasp such a major achievement in life, I believe. Like if you're on a football team and you win the Super Bowl, it might take you a week or two, because everybody's so in your face right after it happens, comments, phone calls, emails, private messages, DMs, interviews, boom, boom, boom. So you don't really get any you time to just sit back and go, I'm fucking in the UFC, motherfucker. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Some exclusive information for you.
All right, hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news right here on Cage Side with Christopher James from Josh Parisian. You're hearing it here first.
I was offered a fight.
When?
That's the most information I can give you right now, but I was offered a fight.
You can't tell me when? You don't have to tell me an opponent or anything. Can you tell me when?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that. I guess
it
would be
September, October, November. November?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'll figure it the fuck out. Or you could just message me offline and tell me. I won't reveal.
I'll figure it out.
Listen, I'm pretty good at finding shit out, but you can make it easy on me and just message me and tell me. And, you have my word here in front of all the viewers. Because a lot of times that happens, a fighter would tell me, oh, I got a fight, but I can't tell you. And they tell me off the air, and I don't ever break the news because it would get you in trouble, But I'm like a gossip girl. Sometimes I just got to know the shit that's going on behind the scenes. I was interviewing Austin Vanderford from Bellator, Paige Van Zant's husband, the other day. I was down at a press conference, and I'm interviewing him and her together. I said, so when you got a fight coming? He goes, on the 12th of September. And I'm like, who is it? He goes, I can't tell you yet. And I go, go ahead, just whisper. And we're on live, I'm like, go ahead, just whisper in my ear. I won't tell nobody, I swear, And he's laughing at me, but I meant that. I wouldn't tell, I mean, that'd be stupid for me. Because if you tell me, even off the air, right, and I come back and pop it, and then you get in trouble for saying it, then you're not going to want to do an interview with me ever again because, I got you in trouble. And, my bread and butter is talking to guys like you, so it doesn't make sense to tell shit. So I expect an email right after this show, you know, and if you don't, I'm gonna flex, bro.
Man, you must be obnoxious to buy Christmas presents for. You're like, oh, you need to tell me just how big is it? How much was it?
Oh yeah, you know, my wife
What's it
hates
look
me.
like?
Listen, my wife hates me, and when I was growing up, I used to take presents, and I don't know if you ever watched the Johnny Carson show. I'm a little older than you, so but Johnny Carson did a gimmick called Karnak, and he would hold something to his head, and then he would tell you what was in the out. Like his were like, you know, what was in the outlet. He was going to, you know, tell you what it, you know, he would say something, and then the envelope obviously was set up to match, you know, because it was a comedy skit. But I used to sit in my house and go like this, go, blue jeans, and I put it down. Then I'd grab another present and go, ooh, this is a video game for my game console. All right, cool. And I put it down. And every time I did it, my mom or whoever was in the house would get pissed because I was pretty good at figuring out what shit was. You know, I was specific on lists, but like my wife now, I'm like, why do we even go through the whole ceremonial bullshit of buying presents for each other and making each other wait? Just tell me what you get me. Just tell me, you know, or she'll go get someone and go, come on, just tell me. All right, let's open one present, you know, like 2 days before Christmas. Because if I can get her to open one, I can get her to open them all, you know. But yeah, I'm a pain in the ass at Christmas time because I got to know. I'm a nosy motherfucker.
When I was a kid, it was so bad. I knew exactly what I was getting every Christmas. I would find the presents in the trunk. One time, she hid them in a storage unit that we had, but I had checked everywhere, couldn't find it. I got the storage unit key. I rode my bike there. I always found out. It was so bad that I would get packs of Pokemon cards because that was when I was a kid. I would take a razor blade. I would open them, and I would put Elmer's glue back in there so I could look at the cards to see what I got in the packs. So I'd put up cards back in.
That's fucking awesome, man. That's the way. Listen, that's the way to do shit, man. You have to remember, you know, you have to go after what you want, man. You've been doing it your whole life. You were persistently going to find out the fuck you were getting for Christmas, all the way down, not just to find out the package, but what was in each. So if it was a deck of cards, you were going through, all right, I got this fucking motherfucker. I got this Pikachu. I'm fucking awesome, you know? And then you probably went through some of the card packs and go, man, this one doesn't have any good ones. I still got a smile on Christmas, so I got to pretend I'm happy because you already, you know, the surprise is gone. So you have to be an actor. So you did it all well. Hats off to you, man. I'm the same kind of dude. I got to know. So like, you know, like, and I've had people send me Christmas presents and go, don't open it until Christmas. Let me tell you something. If you are not in the house with me and I get a Christmas present from you, as soon as it comes, if it's 4 days before 8, I'm opening it. So I'm just doing it. There's no lie. I'm not going to tell bullshit. I'm opening. So, you know, if you ever decide to send something to me, you know, and it gets here and it's supposed to be a surprise that I can't have till this day, just know I'm going to open it ahead of time. So what you should probably do if you want me to open it on Thursday, don't send it till Wednesday. Then I can't open it till like Saturday or Sunday. So then mission accomplished. Other than that, if it comes early, I'm opening that shit. At that point, it's mine. Fuck it.
Oh, it's hilarious.
So I want to share a comment on the screen with you from Garrett Kerman. He is the fight analyst. Can you see the comment there?
Hold on. Let me try to fix.
If you can, I'll just read it to you.
No, I got it. I had to scroll my screen up a little bit. I didn't see it at first. Yeah. That's awesome.
Cashed a ton of money on this man, Josh Parisian, on Tuesday. How does that make you feel to, you know, help some people make some cheddar off your victory? Besides you making your own money, you help some other people cash out.
Oh, it feels good, but at the same time, I feel like I lost some people some money as well. I don't actually know what the betting odds were. I think I was the favorite, but I don't know by how much.
Garrett,
which is funny.
Give me the. I'll ask Garrett right now. That's what he does for a living. Garrett, give me the odds. I'll put them up on the screen. What were the odds going in, and how did you cash on that? Were you running some kind of parlay? I picked all 5 winners that night too, so it was pretty cool. That was a crazy night, by the way, man. Cheyenne Buys, she actually was from down here. I watched her come up on her amateur career, and I forgot she got married, and they're introducing her. I'm going, what the fuck? Who's this? Holy shit, it's her. And I was like, oh my God, she's like, and that person that she was in the octagon that night was the same girl that I watched coming up on the amateur scene. Cocky, you know, when she yelled at her opponent to get up, she's like, get the fuck up. I thought that was fucking awesome because that's who she is. And when she got her contract and Dana said, you're in the UFC, get the fuck over here, to, you know, reference what she did, that was fucking awesome. Dana's so funny sometimes, man. He catches moments like he was watching the older brother, Orion, and he was saying something to Orion, and Orion's sitting in the back, when he's reading the contract stuff, and Orion's like, and then he goes, "Yes, you did," because he could see you, and you could see him, and it's just so funny the way he interacts with some of you guys. So the betting odd, it was minus 210. So he was the favorite. I'm guessing you were the favorite, minus 210, but he got it at early in the day at minus 165. So yeah, I'm guessing he cashed out nicely. He's pretty clever with that shit. But yeah, that whole card. So like you said, I guess I understand your fear of not getting one because of what the brothers did. Those two guys are going to be stars, by the way. They have all the boxes checked. They're good looking. They're there to commit violence. They're brothers. That always adds to the story. And their background of growing up on an Indian reservation and being Indian, and being called the white boy Indians, by the other kids, and just going through hell and not knowing if they were going to eat because their parents didn't come home for days at a time. These guys have the backstory and the brutality. I can't wait to see what these kids do. They're going to be awesome. But they're going into divisions that you have to work a lot longer and a lot harder, I believe, to get into the title pictures, and they're stacked division at 170 and 155. The heavyweight division, and the reason I'm saying this is because you made a comment in your interview post-fight. The heavyweight division is probably the easiest division to gain traction in the shortest amount of time. You even said that your opponent on the Contender Series you felt was tougher than 50% of the heavyweights on the UFC roster. That's a bold statement to make from a guy who's just getting in. So was that bravado, or is that something you truly believe that your opponent that night was better than half the heavyweights on the roster and that you're going to be able to go in and make an impact right away?
I think that like top 15, top 20 heavyweights in the UFC are good. But I think they sign a lot of guys that maybe aren't ready. So I really do believe that I'm going to be better than a lot of those guys right from the rip. So I don't necessarily need or want to fight dudes that to build myself up. I don't mind taking tough fights right at the beginning.
So, and I already know the answer to the question because every fighter asks this question always has the same answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Are you ready for the top of the heavyweight division, with guys like Stipe and fucking Francis and Curtis Blades? Are you ready for those guys? Or do you need to fight the one tier below that top five, let's say, just to kind of get your feet wet and get the full feel? Because there's levels to this shit. There is, from the amateurs to the early regionals to the higher ranked regionals to the UFC. And even at the UFC, there's levels, from the top 10 to, the next 10 to the next 10. And there are levels to this. So do you feel you're at the level of top 5 yet, top 10, or, do you consider yourself right now jumping in, top 15, top 20?
Well, like you said, I think I'm in a division that I have the, how do I say this? I think anybody can knock anybody out on a given day. And I also think styles definitely make a huge factor in a fight. So I think about like Derek Lewis. I think that is a very winnable fight for me. I think about Curtis Blades. I think that's a tough fight for me. And those guys are, right there at the top.
Fighting each other.
They're fighting each other. Yeah.
Yeah. So you believe that Derek Lewis is a fight that you can go in there and win today. Curtis Blades, not the same belief that you could go beat him today. Would you say that's a fair statement? Not saying that you can never beat him, but based on what you just said, it sounds like you believe you could probably beat Derek Lewis today, and maybe you wouldn't have the same result with Curtis Blades today.
Yeah, like I said, at heavyweight, I think that it might end in my favor. You know what I mean? Just because we throw so hard, and just the power is not relative to the strength of our necks and the thickness of our skulls. I mean, any shot can knock each other out at heavyweight. But I would say that's pretty accurate. I think that would be a fight I want more time for than I would need for like Derek Lewis or somebody who just wants to stand and throw hard.
Yeah, and dude, by the way, man, your thighs are fucking the size of my torso.
Yeah.
They even said something about that during the broadcast, how big your fucking legs are, man. And fucking, I mean, your legs are huge. fucking just such a solid base to have. And for being such a big man, I mean, you came in at 266, you hit right at the limit, and you're every ounce of 266, but you don't move like you're 266. You move like you're 200 pounds, maybe even 195. You're very fluid in your movements as a big man. I think that still surprises a lot of people. I've seen your fights, not surprised at it, but it just blows me away that you're able to do it. I'm not surprised when I see it because I know you can, but it still just blows me away at how fluid and movement you are at such a big weight. What do you really attribute that to?
It's funny, this fight I tried really hard not to move that much. I just wanted to stay in my shell, kind of be more defensive and counter. So I didn't really get to display a lot of movement that I feel like I'm capable of, but it's definitely because there's just not a lot of heavyweights at our gym, just a bunch of small guys, and I spent 10 years chasing little guys. You know what I mean? So I had to be creative and I had to be fast to be able to hit them.
Come here, you little fucker.
Yeah. I'm at like a daycare, like, get over here.
Excuse me. Michael Pettinelli says, "What's up, champ?" He said, "You are Michigan's humble warrior." That's awesome. That's a cool thing to hear from somebody out there. Who is he to you? A friend, a buddy? Huh?
As I'm up here talking shit, I'm like, oh, beat this guy, like, that guy's a humble guy. No.
Who is he?
I appreciate that. Mike is the promoter for WXC, who are on UFC Fight Pass, and I would consider him a friend.
You consider a promoter or a friend? That's very odd.
It is very odd because I feel like most promoters are very shady, and I don't think that. I mean, he's never done me wrong. Him or Norbert is another somebody on the team.
I know who Norbert is.
Yeah. So they've always done right by me.
Yeah, my boss at Island Fights, and now he's a matchmaker at iKON, and his name's Dean Toole. And I'm going to tell you, man, I've worked for a lot of promoters over the years. There's none more awesome to work for than Dean. His goal is to take guys like you and give you the opportunity and the platform to get to where you want to go. He doesn't give you easy fights. He makes you work hard because when you get there, you're going to have to work hard. So he makes sure you're prepared to go when you go. But he can't fight for the guys. And sometimes, somebody loses a fight like Christian we just had on. He came into Island Fights, had a couple of big wins, got him to the Contender Series, didn't perform his best, took an L. But Dean still believes him so much that's why he's so confident putting him on our debut card, because we're debuting on Fight Pass. I mean, new promotions don't debut on Fight Pass, but my bosses, they're so good at what they do and they've established themselves that they were able to get a Fight Pass deal, but they know they got to come in strong out of the gate. And that's why I wanted you to say something to him, because, if anybody knows about pushing forward through the adversity and, having to keep getting the door slammed in your face, it was you. You really, you were like, fuck. I'm sure you're like, fuck, what else do I got to fucking do before this fight the other night, but you went out there and did it. You got that contract. And it was awesome to watch, dude. I'm a fan before I'm a journalist or a ring announcer. I'm just a fan, and I love seeing people go out there and perform the way they're supposed to and the way they want to and achieve the result. And you did exactly what you said you were going to do. You're going to go out there, control the fight, and you were going to come home with the contract. And you did. You saw it. You're like Conor McGregor of the heavyweight division. I saw it in my freaking head, and I made it happen. I don't know. No. That's a shitty Conor, but whatever.
To be fair, I think I'll say that before every fight. Like, I'm going to win this fight, and I mean, I'm hoping it works out every time.
Yeah, but saying it and seeing it are different. When we spoke on my show, I'm pretty sure you said something about you really see yourself. There's no way you weren't coming home with this contract. You saw it in your head already, and I don't think it even would have mattered who the opponent was that night. I think you were so determined in your head to get it done that you were going to do whatever you had to, and you did. You went out there and did exactly what you needed to do. You showed a little of this, a little of that. You finished the fight in the first round. Dana loves the finishes, and boom, you're in. So that's fucking outstanding, man. What's the family say? Like, your girl, obviously your daughter can't say anything just yet, but the whole family. Oh, wait, hold on, before the family. So I remember I messaged you and I said, if you can come on that night after the show, come on. And you said you maybe have to do it from the Strip because, you got a boy who's never been to Vegas. You're going to take him out on the Strip. How did the Strip vacation go? Did you guys go down to the strip? Was it cool? Was it fun? I'm guessing it wasn't as busy as normal, but did you get to show them?
So I went with them. We went to Caesar's Palace, and then we showed
Nice.
him. In there it's huge. It's really nice. We went to the what's it called? Is it the Forum? Something's
Yeah.
in there. It's like all these statues and all these Greek gods
Yeah,
and
I know what you're
stone.
talking about. I don't remember what it's called either, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and we showed him like the big like where you look down, it's like a well. Like he loved it. He loved it a lot. But my shin was really hurting. I took like one kick, and I think I may have hurt the inside of my instep when I kicked the inside of his leg. I might have hit a knee or something. And that was like made it so hard to walk. And I'm like, hey, would you be upset if I went back to the hotel right now because it's like so hard to walk, and I couldn't find anywhere to buy some ibuprofen or anything, and it probably been like $30. And he was cool with that. So they ended up walking down to the. So my other James, my coach, and Tim, they walked down to the fountain to shoot the water, check that out, and they went to
At the Bellagio, they saw the water show. Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, and then they went to
That's so
Fremont
cool.
Street. So we
Okay,
got to see
cool. Yeah,
a
Fremont
little bit
is
of
cool.
Fremont.
They got the whole thing over your head with all the flying stuff, and it's a cool thing. I've only been to Vegas once myself, so but this new company I'm working with, iKON, we're going to do some shows out there apparently this year or the beginning of next year, so I'm pretty excited. We're going to Mexico in October. I mean, we got all kinds of shit going. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's get the party train. Oh wait, hold on, I got to change this graphic behind here because the Contender Series is where you did fight, but now you'll be fighting in the UFC Apex, UFC style.
Yeah, same place, same cage.
Yeah, but no, it's not. It's the same place, but it's different.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
and you
different.
should treat it differently. You should treat it differently because the bigger paycheck, more opportunity. This is the time. But you've been in that building now so many times to fight. I don't think you'll have any octagon jitters when you get your first fight announcement and all that. You'll be like, fuck, dude, this is my house, man. I beat people up here all the time,
Yeah.
So, fuck it. I hope your
Yeah.
first fight happens there. For the comfort thing. But if not, and they take you out to Fight Island in November, so be it, man, because that'll be awesome too.
Yeah, for sure. I actually hope it's Fight Island, just to go somewhere and do something different. But yeah, I messaged my opponent after the fight and everything, and I told him, thanks for the fight, and all the stuff that you say to people, and
Yeah.
like I've been there, I've lost before, I know what that feels like, and hang in there, you'll bounce back. I think you're great, and I think you're gonna do great things, all that stuff. But he told me he was really nervous about being. It didn't look nervous, but he said he was nervous, and
I think that guy should move down to light heavyweight if he could take down another 10 pounds because he's too small to fight at heavyweight right now. 250. I mean, he came in at 215. He gave up 51 pounds to you. That's too much of an advantage. But if he can get down another 10, I think it'd be dangerous in that light heavyweight division.
yeah, I mean, he's normally 230, and he's fought some big guys like me as well. And I don't want to make any accusations, but I feel like he wasn't on the same supplements that he was before, because he didn't come in nearly as a specimen of a human being this time. And I think that maybe they just didn't realize how much weight he was going to lose from that.
Yeah, because he was very small for coming at heavyweight at 215. I mean, you don't want to cut that small unless your opponent's 220. I mean, so. But I think that guy, if he can get down to 205, I think that would be the best spot for him. I don't think he'll survive in the heavyweight division if he gets another shot at it. So, what about your family? How'd they feel? What'd they say? And coolest reaction from any family member?
I think it was probably my brother was a big deal for me, because he was just like, he was talking about what I've gone through, and like my perseverance and stuff like that, and something he never said to me before. He told me that he was proud to be my brother, and like right in the feels.
Dude, I'm already having an emotional day because I got some good medical news, and so you're saying this to me, and now my feels are gonna like start crying for you because that's beautiful, man. That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, that felt good to read that. But yeah, everybody's super happy. My girlfriend is always happy. But one thing I appreciate is she's really happy, but she's not over the top happy, which makes me believe that she doesn't really care that I win or lose. So I know she'll still love me no matter what. She just wants me to go out there and have fun, like truly.
Yeah. Well, the only way you're going to know if she cares if you win or lose, if you lose like 3 in a row or something, then she starts, being a bitch, and then you'll know. Then you'll know right there. Oh man, fuck, I got to win some fights so I don't lose my girl. But I don't think that's going to happen, of course, and that would be horrible if it did, but it's not going to happen. I mean, it's funny because I see you talk about your girl, and you guys are the right people for each other, man. You got nothing to worry about with that lady. She just loves you.
Oh yeah, no, she's and she's great, and it's like we have the perfect dynamic. Honestly, it's a really good thing.
Yeah, that's me and my wife, man. We really have the perfect dynamic in our relationship. I make the rules and she follows them. She's not in this room right now, so I can say whatever the fuck I want because she can't hear me.
Yeah,
and she doesn't go back and watch the show, so I should be all right on this one. Oh man!
Hey, you should go back and watch that show.
Say that again,
Chris. I'm gonna message her. I'm gonna try to go back and watch the show. I'm like, Chris said some lovely things about you that I think are really touch.
All right, make sure if you're gonna do that, tell her that 1 minute, 1 hour, and 1 minute into the show, somewhere around that area. Just I mean, if you're gonna wrap me out, give her the time too. I mean, don't make her work for it. Oh man, well listen, I appreciate you coming through tonight, man. Thank you so much. Congratulations on achieving the dream, and the dream is just beginning, man. But I believe in you, man. I think you're going to do big things in the heavyweight division, and you worked hard for it. So may you enjoy all the glory from your hard work, man. And hope you have a wonderful night.
Thanks, man. You too. And as always, I'm very grateful to be on your show, and you have a great night as well.
I will always have you on the show, man. You're the man. So enjoy the rest of your night, man. Say hi to the baby. I know she misses me because she met me the last time. And, tell your girl I said hello and congratulations to her as well because she has to go through all this with you, and so it's a win for her too.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. She makes same sacrifices that I do.
Yes, she does. And probably a little more so, because she has to, do a lot of stuff when you can't be there. So she's putting in the work. So hats off to her. Hats off to you and your family, man. God bless. Be well.
Yep. See you, man. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Peace. All right. We are now going to add. Oh, did he disappear? I don't know. Did he? There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He is the president of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He's also a future movie star, because they're going to start making movies about this guy's life. He's a sexy man in his own right. As you can see, he's got the V, not the too deep V. He's got the perfect V. Some guys wear that too deep V that, they shouldn't. But I'd like to welcome to the show. He's been on with us numerous times. I just saw him the other day in South Florida at the BKFC press conference. President of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Please welcome Mr. David Feldman. David, how are you today?
What's going on, Chris? How are you, bud?
I'm ecstatic, man. I got good news today. I'm not going to die from colon cancer.
Congratulations. There's nothing more important than that, man. All this stuff we're talking about is great, but there's nothing more important than that, man. Congrats.
Thank you, man. I mean, it's I've beaten cancer and leukemia with no treatment. I've beaten Crohn's disease now because that's apparently gone, and that's never happened to anybody. This guy said, and no colon cancer. So I'm 3 heart attacks. Every moment is a blessing, and I appreciate every moment. That's why, you'll see me down at one of your shows or at a press conference. I'm always hyped up. Sometimes people wish they could turn me down a little, but I can't because I want to soak in every moment of life because tomorrow I might not be here, man. So if I'm going out, I'm going to make sure I'm balls to the wall.
That's
the right way, balls to the wall.
That's what it's about, man. It is. It really, truly is. And a lot of people forget that during the path of life, man. I mean, you could die at any time, so you got to enjoy every moment that you can. Yep,
that's right, man. So, press conference the other day, we get down to American Top Team in Coconut Creek. They were a great host, man. It's a great building to have, and there's so much history and honor in that place. We got Thiago Alves, Hector Lombard, Paige Van Zandt, and you up on the podium. And it was really cool to see, from my perspective, not just as a journalist, but as a fan of what you do, to see and you have great fighters on your roster before you signed any of these people. So I don't want them to feel like I'm slighting them, but to see the different level of famous athletes that have a lot more recognition than some of the guys you do have on your roster coming to your front door and knocking willingly, saying, "Hey, can I come in and play with you guys?" Especially Paige, because Paige could, like she said at the press conference, she could do so much more, probably make a lot more money getting into acting and hosting TV shows instead of, going out and getting punched in the face. And, her passion showed out that day. It really did. I never met her and I felt it. When you're sitting there with those athletes, those world-class, high-caliber athletes that, were, stars in the UFC and Bellator and every place else in the world, and now they work with you. And again, the Paige Van Zandt signing, the biggest financial deal you've probably done so far, which is going to attract a lot of attention. People go, shit, they're paying Paige $3 million and I'm a better fighter than her. I might get $5 million, whatever. It's going to open doors for you and bring you some talent. But how do you feel sitting there amongst that group of people based from, the first press conference you had, where you had guys that, some of them had names, but not at this level. So how's it feel for you?
It's a victory. I mean, I dreamt this. So this is supposed to happen, right? In my dreams, this is supposed to happen. This is where it's all supposed to end up, and bigger and better things coming from here. And it's happening. So it's really like, it's like living through a dream come true. I mean, you work your ass off. You say you want to build this sport that nobody really believes in, and then people start believing in it. Fans start coming. Fighters start loving it. And now, the top free agent in combat sports at the time signed with our company. So it's absolutely a dream come true. Not just signing Paige, but the stage of where we are and the acceptance that we're getting, not only from the fighters, from the fans, now from different platforms, from different sponsors. I mean, the sponsors are reaching out left and right now. It's amazing to be where we're at. And it really, truly puts an exclamation point that if you work your ass off and believe in yourself and really, really do the right thing, you really can accomplish anything in life. I know it's cliche to say, but I'm living it. I'm living it right now.
Do you ever get starstruck by some of the people that you get to hang out with, at the podium? I mean, Paige is a pretty girl. She's a big star. I mean, Anthony's like one of your buddies. But do you ever get a little starstruck with some of these guys? Because, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and, there's been a few people that I gotten starstruck with, getting ready to do an interview or something, because I'm like, I can't believe I'm talking to this motherfucker,
I've been around a lot of these guys my whole life because my dad trained 7 world champions. I've been in the boxing industry for a while. So I saw a lot of world champions, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, all these guys. I met them all. And, now I don't really get starstruck, but, I'm very appreciative and like, wow, these guys want to sit with me now, and it's like another step up another rung on the ladder. What really is, the only one I really got starstruck over, it's really crazy. I did press row on Super Bowl, this past Super Bowl, and the radio row, the station next to me, I look over and it was Martha Stewart, and I was like, holy shit, it's Martha Stewart. Like, it was not a big deal, but I was like, holy shit, I'm sitting next to Martha Stewart. Holy shit. It was pretty awesome. But like,
was it because she was so famous, about telling people about sheets, or because she now had street cred because she'd been to prison?
I mean, it was more, it was the famousness of her and, the street credit, everything, but that she was there. I was actually surprised she was there, but it was pretty cool. And, everything that I'm doing, I mean, everything in life is just dreams, man. If you dream, I swear, man, I don't want to sound like one of these guys who like, if you would do this and do this, that's what happened. But you know what? If you work your ass off, really, you got to work your ass off, and you can't listen to the word no. And really, the main thing is you got to treat people right. If you treat people right, shit happens, man. And it's happening. And the team is more excited than they've ever been. My family's more excited than they've ever been. And great shit just keeps happening like dominoes right now. It's amazing. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Maybe I'll hit the lotto next and I won't have to keep doing this shit. I'm like, this is unbelievable, Chris.
Yeah, it's crazy how the steam that your company has generated and the momentum that has been built. And even during the pandemic, and you alluded to it the other day at the press conference, that it gave you time to kind of step back and look at where you wanted to go and not just be caught up in that moment today where it was happening. And it gave you and your team time to, rethink the game plan of where the direction was that you guys wanted to head. And so the pandemic sucks. There's no doubt about it. But I think you were able to use it to your advantage. And, the momentum is like, even with the time off, the momentum is right back where it was, man. If not a little bit harder, it's like boom. You got Paige coming in, you got Tiago, you got all this stuff going on. You've had conversations with Mike Tyson about fighting for you guys. I mean, I remember we spoke last time. You said that was a pretty cool moment for you. Maybe a little starstruck in there because that was a cool moment. The president of the United States reached out to you, Donald Trump, before your last show. And I mean,
It's just crazy, right? It's almost like if I didn't live it myself, I'd be like, "You're full of shit. That shit isn't happening." And it was like dominoes are falling. It's unbelievable, man. It's really unbelievable. But like I said, the thing I take the most pride in is I treat people right. I really treat people right. I make them all feel welcome at anything we do. I pay them right, and we're trying to build this. We're trying to build this animal, man, and it's really becoming an animal right now. It's competing. I mean, look, we competed for the top free agent in combat sports, and we got her. So it's a great thing for what we're doing. And it just, it says again, work your ass off and do the right thing. And here we are. And so many more things are happening. And just like every day, something new. And I'm like, I can't believe this keeps happening. But at the same time, they don't see the other 23 and a half hours where I'm nervous as hell and I'm working my ass off. And I'm like, is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? And we make stuff happen. Stuff just doesn't fall in our lap. But I think if you work hard enough, then things do start falling in your lap, because they say, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yep. I mean, Shaq reached out to you. I believe you said that he wants to come down to.
We were on ESPN Sports Center, and Shaq
cool.
got our tag from us, and he reached out. He's like, I'm a fan of this. Can't wait to come to a show. When's your next show? We told him. He said he's going to be working then, I think, calling some basketball games. And then after that, he wants to come out. It's amazing.
Hell yeah. So, and all this is great, dude. And, when I see you at events, even at the press conference, very rarely do I see a smile on your face, unless somebody asks, a good question up there and you get a little happy, but you're always kind of serious. This is the most laughter and smiling and happiness I've seen from you ever. And that's cool. I'm glad that, you're able to enjoy these moments and really relish in it, and, sit back, maybe not be cocky about it, but, because you're not being cocky about it, you're just being, damn, I'm here because I'm putting in the hard work. You deserve to give yourself a little pat over the shoulder there.
Man, it was really cool, and it was weird, but it was really cool. Your boy Dean Toole, right?
I love Dean Toole.
I gave him a shout out at the press conference.
And
he says, thanks for the shout out. And then someone else commented on it and was like, you deserve to be there. And I'm like, he deserves to be. I'm giving him a shout out. I was like, man, this is like surreal shit, man. Like, really? Like, I'm like, holy shit. I'm Dean Toole. This is what I did my whole life. And I'm giving him a shout out and he's appreciating it. And I'm like, he's a great dude. But it's just weird, man. Weird shit. It's just happening. And that's the times where I'm like, this shit's really happening, Chris. It's really happening. And, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying every moment because look, the rug can fall from under you at any time. It can be pulled out. We are competitors now with some of the big organizations, and I'm sure they're not just going to let us climb up the ranks without throwing stuff our way. So we have to be very aware of everything we're doing, keep doing the right thing, and hopefully we just keep climbing.
Yep. It's funny, the Dean Toole thing, because I sent Dean a message because I didn't know if he got to watch the press conference or just bits and pieces. I said, dude, man. I said, I sent him a text and I told him, it was really cool. David Feldman shouted you out during the press conference as being very important in the signing of Paige Van Zandt. And he goes, did he really? And I'm like, yeah, he did. So I pulled the video and I had to go look at the time. I said, it starts right here, about 17 minutes. I said, because I'm at the podium asking questions, and he brought your name up. I didn't even ask him to bring your name up. I didn't mention your name. And he just immediately went right to you. He said, Sean Wheelock, and then Dean Toole and I were having conversations, and and he was happy about that. It's like, it's like you saying, this is surreal. And for him, that's a cool moment for him. It's like, and for me, it's a cool moment because I work for Dean and he works hard. One of the hardest working guys in combat sports. And, to see him get accolade for the work that he does that some people don't know that he does, makes me even happier for him as a friend. But more importantly, as a boss, that, he's got goals in this that he wants to achieve, and things like this get him closer.
No, he's a great guy, and it's like just do the right thing, man. I never, the one thing, that if this thing does become the monster that I'm hoping it's going to be, I'll never forget who I am and where I came from and who helped me get there. I always remember the people that helped do different things. You know, he was instrumental in getting that done, so he gets a shout out. I mean, why wouldn't he? It's a shout out. If I can't even shout him out, then I'm a real piece of shit, to be honest with you. So, you know, you can't forget, man, and I never will, man. Like, you know, I honestly, I just got done cutting my lawn, got a freaking rock in my eye, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be cutting my lawn anymore. Like, but I'm like, I just do it. Like, I'm as real gets, man. And I think, you know, I want to say that I think we deserve to be where we're at because the team, and I always say the team really came together, man, especially over this pandemic. And we game planned and we said, this is where we need to go. Talk to the guys that are putting up some of the money for us. And I said, look, I really have to spend some more money now, but I'm going to do everything smart. And they said, let's do it. So we're sprinting right now. We're trying to do what we can do. We got a good deal on the table with a really great platform, but this next event on September 11th will live on our Bare Knuckle TV app because, you know, all the contracts have to line up right. So right now, everything that we do at this point right now, and then the show that you're going to help us with on September 26th is going to be on the Bare Knuckle TV app. There's so much stuff on that app. It's, you know, it's tremendous because it's our thing. It's our little thing, and it's everything that we've ever done, and it's awesome. I'm really happy. I think you can hear it in my voice and see it in my face.
Oh, I can see it in your face, dude. Like, I'm going to go back to this
been.
video and I'm going to screenshot every smile. I'll probably get a bunch of them, dude. I'm going to put them up. People go, is that really David Feldman smiling like that? But it's cool. So, you know, everybody, if you guys want to see what happened at the press conference, you know, as far as, you know, the different questions for the people at the table, go to the BKFC YouTube page. It's on there. Or go to my page, mymmashow.com. And I wrote an article about the press conference and I clipped in the whole video so you can watch the press conference in its entirety. But the one moment I didn't get to speak to you about at the press conference that took place at the press conference was the heated confrontation between your 155-pound champion, Luis Palomino, and the uncrowned champion in his mind, Jim the Bare Knuckle Beast Allers. And, you know, they got into some confrontation. At first, it was friendly banter, you know, talking a bunch of shit. And, you know, that's okay. That's good stuff. It's good press. It's good vibe. But then it got physical. Baboon Palomino headbutted Allers. You know, they were chest to chest, but no punches. And then boom, the headbutt. And then shit just went crazy. We got Shannon Briggs pulling back Palomino. I got Rumble. Think about the scene. I got Shannon Briggs over here pulling back Palomino.
We have some really good bouncers there.
Yeah, Rumble Johnson pulling back Allers. Yeah, and I'm there trying to push people back too. I'm like, come on, Louis back, Jim back. You know, people laugh at me because every time there's like confrontation at a press conference, people get it. I'm like there, like I have a knack for being there when they happen. But what was your thoughts on the whole thing? Did you talk to each guy after and say, hey man, you got to chill that shit out, you know, or you say?
The only thing I didn't really like was, you know, Luis. He's a great guy. I really like him a lot. Like I really like that dude. But I don't think it should ever get to a physical point. And when he headbutted Jim Allers, you know, it kind of upset me a little bit. I had a little talk with him. I just don't want that kind of stuff. Look, shit talk all you want, get in each other's face. That's what creates hype. That's what creates the drama to these fights, and that's great. But you know, you don't want to get physical. But other than that, man, it was tremendous. It built up hype for that fight. People want to see that. That's probably going to take place in November on the Paige Van Zandt undercard. And it sucks that I got to put a world title fight on the undercard, so I got to figure out how I'm going to structure that. But
well, why would that have to go on the I mean, because
you know, I'm going to figure it out.
I mean, because I'm guessing, you know, Paige's debut, she'll probably main event. I mean, that makes sense, you know, because you know
when I say undercard, co-main event, right? So that's still
okay.
Undercard. It's not the main event.
Yeah. Well, listen, I think those guys understand why. You know, they understand why.
Exactly. It's an unbelievable fight. And we just have so many guys we're signing, so many different things we're doing. And, you know, that press conference was great. It was really worth every bit of effort that we put into that press conference. And I think it showed everybody that we're very professional and we're doing the right thing in the direction that we're going. And it was, you know, it was amazing. I got to meet Paige. I got to meet her husband, who's just a really cool dude and can fight. But what a great dude he is, man. And they have a great relationship, and I love it. I love seeing that kind of stuff when stuff just works. You know, good plans work, and their plans working, and our plans working, and it's a great thing.
Yeah, and let me share some of the comments from you up here before we move on to my next question. First, from Alex Clark, he said he said he's looking at your video. He goes, "A glass of wine sounds delicious. I'm jealous. I tested for the Rona and can't taste shit."
You know what's crazy? Oh, that sucks, man. Sorry to hear that you tested for that, man. But you know what? The good thing is the shit's gonna pass us soon. But you know, this is the first drink that I've had in I think about like 40 days. I rarely drink, but my wife said it was date night. I said, well, I gotta talk to Chris first. So I have to get back to date night pretty soon, or you know, I'm gonna probably be on punishment for a couple weeks.
She's getting you drunk. She's got something in mind. I like the way she thinks. My buddy Forrest Daniels, he said this is just the beginning for BKFC, and he can't wait to see how the future of the sport evolves. He's been following me for a long time, and you know, when I started doing bare knuckle stuff and covering you guys and everything, he jumped right in. He was like, "This shit's fucking awesome." So he believes in you.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've definitely seen his name around commenting. Great, thank you so much, Forrest.
Chill Champ Chill, that's from Vince Anderson. I guess he's talking to Palomino. And then he's got Jim Allers in there, but he also said, you know, some of the stuff you've done is a great move for the boss. Andy Hall says the accolades you're getting are much deserved, and he respects the grind that you're doing. Because, you know, it's not just, you know, hey, let me call a fighter and let me call another fighter and boom, we got to fight. Some people don't understand the trials and tribulations of being a promoter in a combat sport. And, you know, you live, breathe, eat, sleep, shit, talk, walk, fuck. I mean, everything is fight, you know, like you said, 23 and a half hours of the day that the public doesn't see you. It's all, you know, anxiety and craziness going on. And, you know, you wear it well, dude, because some guys fold under that pressure and you seem to thrive in that environment.
Love it,
because
man.
You keep making bigger moves.
I'm a pressure shooter, without a doubt. I'm a pressure shooter, man. You know, and sometimes it's out of a bad habit. Sometimes I can be a procrastinator and I have to be a pressure shooter. But you know, when the pressure's on is when the team really shines, man. And we've shined, man. And it's just been great. And you know, it's been a tough. I mean, you know, I know we talked about. I was actually signed a deal to start a movie about my growing up in boxing and my dad's involvement and everything that I went through in my life and getting into BKFC and really making it happen. And I think it's going to really open up a lot of people's eyes about, you know, you can overcome a lot of difficult situations. When people hear and see my story, they're going to be like, holy shit, I did not know he went through that shit. So I went through a lot of shit in life, and I don't talk about it because I'm not looking, you know, I'm not looking for any pity. I'm just saying, I again say that no matter what the fuck happens to you in life, no matter how hard or what kind of hand you're dealt, man, you can overcome it and kick ass and just do whatever you want to do. But you got to work hard, man. Yep. You really got to work hard, and you got to tell everybody, look, that gets in your way. There's a bunch of haters out there, a bunch of trolls, and you just laugh at them because they fuel the fucking fire for me. And you know, I'm happy at where I am in my life personally and in my life professionally, and we're just kicking ass. And my team's phenomenal. The fans are great. The fighters are unbelievable. So it's a perfect storm right now.
Yeah, and you know, there's other things going on besides the bare knuckle fighting championship fight cards. August 29th in Kansas, you're gonna have an open tryout. Nate Shook's gonna be out there overseeing that along with Sean Wheelock, trying to acquire new talent that you can actually grow. That isn't, you know, a UFC star coming over or a boxing star coming over. These are people that you want to grow and build their brand and have them grow with the company. And I think that's an awesome approach. Also, the Toe the Line series, which you alluded to, September 26th. So, so what he was talking about, guys, September 26th, there's going to be a Toe the Line show. Basically, this is a feeder system going to be in play in different cities across the country for BKFC to, you know, acquire new talent to bring up to the main cards. You know, if they're able to perform, you know, but you don't want to put a guy that's, you know, 3-5 in MMA onto a main card until you see that he can handle bare knuckle. And so, you know, you go out there and, you know, put him in a feeder league. I guess I'm going to be there, according to Mr. Feldman, I'm going to be there ring announcing that night, it looks like. And that's cool because I'm going to be in Mississippi 2 nights before announcing for iKON. I'm going to have a busy weekend.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, man. It's we're we're doing the tryouts August 29th in Wichita, Kansas. We're going to have Nate down there. We're also going to have Chris Leven. Chris Leven came on board with us as an ambassador, and he's going to be with us all the time now as well. A legend. It's great to have him on board. Sean Wheelock. We're going to pick out some talent there that we're going to put on some of these Total Line shows. The Total Line show is actually a series that we partner up with local promoters. It's not really our show, but what we're going to do is we're going to poach a couple of guys out of there and bring them up to the big leagues. Each tryout and each big show like that, we're going to offer 2 contracts to fight for bare knuckle fighting championship. I think it's a great way of getting the sport into a lot of different people's eyes and
Sure.
to watch it live, giving these different fighters opportunities. So it's a great thing.
Yeah, it's funny, you say giving them opportunities, and getting people to see it live. I've seen some the best MMA fights ever on the planet take place, live, ringside, cage side. I've seen some huge boxing matches, ringside and cage side. And then I went to bare knuckle for the first time in Mississippi. And holy fuck, dude. Just holy fuck. That's all I could say. It's just nuts. There's a different level of excitement. There's a different feel in the crowd. It almost reminds me of, seeing movies about the gladiator days where, the crowd was rabid and just, looking for that violent thing. And the violence is beautiful. Every fighter on the table the other day was talking about, I just want to punch somebody in the face, and the fans love it. And Rumble brought up, we want to see the craziness and the blood. And he's right. That's what we want to see. And you provide that in such a pure form of combat. It's almost crazy how simple the concept is, and that nobody else did this before you. You know what I mean? I mean, bare knuckles.
Chris,
bare knuckle boxing is different than bare knuckle fighting. So it's just, I'm floored.
Yeah, but Chris, if it was easy, everyone would do it. That's what I'm saying. No, but I mean, in promoting it and fighting, it's a different breed. And promoting it, look, it took me 8 years to get legalized, and not many people will try for something for 8 years, before it happens. But it's great. It's a phenomenal. It's fast paced. It's nonstop. It's pure. It's exciting, and it's real fighting. It's tremendous. I love it. I love being a part of it. I love that I've got a great team and a lot of great people behind it. And, it's amazing. And I hate to do this to you, Chris, but the wife's giving me that look.
I know.
I
saw you. I saw you look over there. So before you go, just a couple of real quick comments from the crowd out there. Justin Sims, who works with Titan FC, he just wanted to say thank you for the press conference and everything you do, Mr. David Feldman. You deserve all the great things coming to you. You continually inspire him, the anemic videographer, and the other one's for me to check your email. I guess he sent me some pictures. But listen, also, I saw your son the other day. He was there with you. I congratulate him on getting ready to be a daddy soon. Is this going to be your first grandchild? I don't know if you have any other kids.
Yeah,
I don't remember if I ever had.
This will be my first one. December. So yeah, we just want a very healthy grandchild. Obviously, we're hoping for a boy, so keep your fingers crossed for the Feldman family. We're hoping for a boy, but if we get a girl, she'll be a princess.
Yep. I mean, I love my grandson. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. He's the coolest little dude. It's just awesome. Congratulations on all that. Congratulations on the success. Congratulations on somebody, saying your story is worth making a movie about it. I mean, you're living this crazy dream right now, and I'm sure some of the moments are surreal for you, but you just handle it so well. Like, you were built to do this. So continued success to you. And, I'm glad to be kind of on the team doing Total Line thing with you, man. Thank you. I'm honored that you guys want to work with me.
Thank you, Chris, and everybody that's watching you. Thanks for all the compliments. I really appreciated it. It means that's why it's worth making all these sacrifices for things like that. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, and definitely talk very soon.
All right. Be well. Enjoy date night. Drink up.
Hey,
have a good night, David. Mr. David Feldman, the wife got him. She wanted to have date night, and that's all right, man. So I mean, just heard the president say I'm going to be doing some working with Bare Knuckle in their Toe the Line series. Honored, just honored. It's such a cool thing. I wanted to work with these guys the first time I met David and what they had going on. Even though I didn't understand it completely, I knew that there was something special about to happen, and I just wanted to be a part of it. And now, they give me a lot of access at the press conferences, and I'm always grateful for stuff like that. And by the way, I just wanted to share this little information with you again, just in case you guys didn't know. Somebody's got a message for us.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm BKFC athlete Paige Van Zandt, and you're watching Cage Side with Christopher James.
That's right, Paige, honey. Thank you so much for pimping the show. You're awesome. I love her. She's going to do big things. Justin, I will check my email. Guys, I'm going to dip on out. Thank you so much for being a part of the show today and jumping in with us, man. I appreciate it more than I could ever say. Always for letting me be a part of your life and for you guys being a part of mine today. Blessings are real. Miracles happen. I am living proof that miracles happen. I got some great news today. I'm cancer-free, no colon cancer. The doctor told me he thought I had it, but I don't. And my Crohn's disease apparently has disappeared as well. I can't explain it. And I don't know why I've been chosen to be given such blessings, but I do appreciate them more than I can ever put into words. Truly happy to be here today. And I appreciate every moment in life, every breath I take. It's crazy, with the stuff I've gone through that I'm even here. I don't want to cry on the air, but I'm truly happy. I get to wake up tomorrow. Like I said earlier, Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I get to wake up and kiss my wife in the morning and, visit with my grandson through FaceTime. And that's it. The rest of it's all gravy, but those are the things I appreciate and I want to have every day of my life. So I got to make sure I do what I got to do, and some of this stuff is out of my control. Cancer disappearing from my body, leukemia disappearing from my bloodstream, with no medication, no chemotherapy, no radiation. And then, of course, the heart attacks that didn't kill me. I mean, they killed me because I died each time, but I didn't, I came back. Call it God, call it the universe, call it Buddha, call it whatever you want. Something out there is keeping me going for whatever reason. I'm just grateful to be here every moment of the day. Excited. iKON. We will be debuting September 24th in Biloxi, Mississippi, live on UFC Fight Pass. Make sure you check that out. 2 days later, I'll be in Tunica, Mississippi for the Toe the Line series, a feeder league that is going to be developed for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. October 3rd, I'll be in Pensacola for Island Fights. Yes, I will. That'll be Island Fight 64. And then October 22nd, I will be in San Carlos, Mexico with the iKON team for iKON 2 international show on Fight Pass. It's going to be awesome. Follow all those pages. Follow iKON. Follow Island Fights. Follow iKON. Follow my page, Cage Side with Christopher James. Check out my website, mymmashow.com. Follow Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Don't forget to follow Christian Lohsen, Josh Parisian, and of course, Mr. David Feldman on all their platforms. Get the BKTV app. It's going to be where you're going to see these shows. Toe the Line. You'll see the next Bare Knuckle show, which is September in Daytona Beach, September 11th. I will be there for that as well. So lots of stuff going on in my life, lots of stuff going on in the world of combat sports. And that's it. We got to get out of here. So, God bless you all, man. Thanks again for letting me be a part of your life today and you guys being a part of mine, even if it's just for a couple hours. It means the world to me. Until next time, I am Christopher James. You guys have been Caged. I will see you really soon. Good night, everybody.